Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to another episode of Smite Super Builds, and we have a wonderful view. Right, so we have a nice golden cutesy little Scylla here. So it's been a little while since I've done the last Scylla build, and it's actually the top viewed on my channel, so that's pretty amazing. Now that build is still fine if you wish to use it, but I'm trying to get legendary Scylla right now, and I've kind of switched up my build a little bit. This is more catered towards game modes besides Conquest, like Siege, Arena, Joust, those type of things. So that's just kind of a heads up there. Now the main purpose of this build is just heavy burst damage. Now let's go on, first starting with actives. Actives always depends on what you're doing. I always say that every single time. You know it. It's drilled in your head, you know it. But as far as actives, what I typically get, outside of Conquest, would probably purification beads. Since Scylla sometimes can be caught out of place, yes, you do have U3, and yes, you can go CC immunity during your ulti. I don't like to use my ulti just to break out of things. It's kind of a waste, unless if I can almost guarantee a kill, then I'm fine with that. But besides that, Conquest, Hand of Gods, Teleport Towers, Meditation, some things like that, that's all up to you. But as far as going to items, I'm going to start with the Shoes of Focus. Now, I would get Shoes of Focus rather than Shoes of Magi. So I like the cooldown reduction for my 3 and my 2, and then of course ulti is always nice. But I kind of depend on my 3 quite a bit for escaping sticky situations. I kind of play myself a little aggressive, so I have to rely on my Sentinel for me to get out, and having it reduce cooldown time almost guarantees me getting out. Also, we heavily depend on our Crush, our 2, for most of our damage. Yes, our 1 does good damage, and so is our ulti, obviously. But those two, one is not as much damage as your 2, obviously, and your ulti, that's a lot longer cooldown. So that's making us rely on our Crush for most of our damage. As you see, the damage is just disgusting here. So that's why I pick Shoes of Focus. Now, if you like Shoes of Magic for penetration, which you're fighting people building magical defense, like quite a few of them, then sure, get that. It's all personal preference. Everything you see here. Now we're going to go with Spear of Magus next. I get Spear of Magus because of the passive. Now Scylla, she has no damage over time to quickly gain those stacks, but in the order in which I deal damage to people, I build those stacks. So I use my 1 to trap people, or multiple people. That's 1 stack. Your 2, your Crush, that's going to add another stack, also do insane burst damage. And then I follow up with my Polynom basic attack. And then boom, that's going to hit super hard for 1 of this Polynom. And 2, we have 2 stacks of Spear of Magus, so their magical protection is just gone, thrown out the window, especially if they're not tanky. So that's going to allow your Polynom to hit incredibly hard. So there's the Polynom, as I'm talking about. I guess my 3rd item, so I can kind of get use out of it early game. As soon as you buy this, it's not going to do that crazy amount of damage, but it certainly helps throughout the entire match. Also, the mana is going to help you sustain quite a bit. Life still always important to have. Next, speaking of life steal, Bancroft's Talent. I get Bancroft's Talent for the insane magical power jump. I mean, plus 100 is insane. The life steal is also really great. Since we're squishy, it's good to have life steal. We get life steal by clearing the minion waves with our 2 and damaging opponents also. So that's allowing us to sustain more often. Now the passive gets its most used after when we're using our ulti. When we're using our ulti, quite a few people try to burn us down because we know that huge dog face is going to smack you upside the head, and you're probably going to be hit for 1,000 plus, depending on where the game's at, how much build you have. So the more you get hurt, the more damage you do, obviously. Next, I get Rise to Hootie as my 5th item, and sorry, I hit my desk. I get Rise to Hootie as my 5th item, rather than 6th item, and besides Conquest. Reason why I get Rise to Hootie early is so I can do more damage, and well, by the time you get this item, you're jumping from about 300 to 400 magical power with the first 4 items. You get Rise to Hootie, it's going to jump you up to like 500, 600-ish around that range. And then you're still going to have about like 10 or so minutes left afterwards to use that Rise to Hootie. Now, if you wait till your last item to buy Rise to Hootie, chances are you're only going to have like 5 minutes or less to use it. So that's why I get it. Like 5th item is just a perfect slot to buy Rise to Hootie in quite a few game modes, specifically Arena. Now I get Soul Reaver here because of the instant burst damage with that passive. So, I mean, if you've ever been hit with Soul Reaver on a mage, it's disgusting. So this brings us to that awesome 713 magical power as you see before you on the bottom left. And also with our passive grants us what, like another 80 magical power overall. It's 20 per max rank, so 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 80. 80 more magical power. So I'm going to use my shield on the creeps here. Boom, 860. Polynom hits for 606. Of course, that's jungle mobs. Alright. You probably not going to land that much on the god itself. Maybe you could. I've seen it happen before. So next we're going to go ahead and use our nice little combo. Now we will get blinded by Raw, so it may be a little difficult to see our damage numbers. Well, he didn't live to tell the tale of that, so he's going to respawn, hopefully. Ulti hit him for 1400, and R1 hit him for like 600. One last time, I'm going to drop R2, crush 800, polynom 600, base attacks land about 200s. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope this helps you guys out. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.